My name is Yolandi, and All Pro Health Staffing has some great opportunities. At All Pro, we know what's important to you, and that is safe assignments and great pay. We get it because we're nurses too. We have an amazing opportunity right now for you if you're an LPN. This is based in Vermont, and we are seeking to get somebody on board as soon as possible. We also have really great local opportunities. Right now, we are hiring immediately 4 LPNs. We're looking for them to work in assisted living and memory care facilities based out in New Rochelle, New York. For more information about these great opportunities, call 516-387-4246. Click the link below or share this with a family or a friend.
All right. Welcome to the ride. Welcome to Ride Along Live for today, Wednesday on the ride. A lot happening, guys. How you doing, Rena? Big up yourself. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for sharing, guys. We have some more breaking news and information. A lot has been happening this past couple days, guys. And today, we are happy to have Corporal Sham Roberts, who is attached to the CID. He is here with us and going to give us as much information as he could to help to put and try to understand this, put this thing into perspective. What is going on? I know you asked yourself that question a couple times for the week already. What is going on in this place, man? A lot. As you guys come and go ahead and share the program, guys. Hit that share button, guys, because there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of concerns. People are right now are just their head just spinning because it's one after the next, after the next, after the next. Let me go ahead and share this right now. Guys. There are a few friends of mine who beg me whenever I go live to just share it. So I'm going to do that right now. Somebody say nothing going on that wasn't going on already. We're going to talk about that. Guys. We're going to talk about that. A lot to digest. Let me share it, and then we can get right into where we are and what's happening. Share here. To my folks in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I just shared it with you, and the folks in Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, I just shared it with you as well. Elisa, how are you guys doing? Good night to you, Lacey J, and everyone. Guys, we have been following these stories from last week, right? I mean, of course, stuff happened before, but from last week, we started to report on what we saw as a surge in sort of violent crime. Just yesterday, we saw, we were here speaking about the incident involving the robbery that took place at the MoneyGram in St. George. We came out, we spoke about that. I went into my house, rested for a little bit. I got several notifications. There was another robbery in Calavini happening just moments after we got off the air. Crazy. For those of you who are as confused as me, asking the same question, what's really happening? So we reached out to the RGPF, and they were happy to put us in touch with Corporal Sham Roberts, who is attached to the CID, and we are happy to welcome him on the program here today to chat with us, bring us up to speed on what's happening. Corporal Sham Roberts, welcome to the ride. How are you doing, my friend?
Good evening. I am pretty okay.
Yes. A man of many words. I've heard a lot of good things about you. First, let me say I have to give kudos to the RGPF for such a high success rate in solving crime. One of the best in the world, they say, very high. And especially for these past couple of days, we've seen an increase in reported armed robbery, and RGPF have been right on the ball, moving fast. We saw some arrests in the cases right here, so I gotta applaud you and the great work of the RGPF. So how you doing today, man? What's up? What's up? How things?
Today I'm doing pretty okay. I am a bit good. I'm happy to be alive. Thank God for
Yeah,
strength.
nice.
And thanks for the kudos that you're giving the RGPF. We are trying our utmost best to keep our beautiful Tri-Island safe.
Yeah. As it stands right now, Roberts, what would you say is the number one problem that's really giving the RGPF some hard work, or what the number one problem affecting the island, the Tri-Island state right now?
Uh, in terms of crime, maybe it's the sexual offenses.
Uh-huh.
Due to public education, we have seen an increase in the reporting of the sexual offenses.
Right. Are you seeing a lot of the sexual reporting of the sexual offenses leading to a lot of arrests and prosecution, or just an
Yes,
increase
it,
in reporting?
there is increase in reporting and increase in arrest and prosecution.
Okay. What would you say is the number two in terms of the problems affecting the state right now? In terms of reported incidents,
In terms of reported incident, property crimes.
a lot of property crimes. Yeah. All right. So as I said, as we were alerted from last week, I want to start back there a little bit. From last Friday, we got reports of a stabbing incident in the Boca area. A very alarming incident. It really shook they took everybody by storm in that particular neighborhood. What could you tell us about that particular incident? What happened there? Because there were reports on that, which was media reports. What happened in that Boca incident, as the the RGPF could release?
Okay, this matter is still an active investigation, so we are very guarded in what is being released at the moment. So what I can say is, yes, we have an incident that led to the death of an individual, Chris Alfred, a 31-year construction worker of Boca. Based on investigation conducted, we had one gentleman, Kelly Penny, of the said address. He was arrested for that offense. He was remanded at His Majesty's prison yesterday. The matter is still an active investigation, so there isn't much I can say at the moment as it relates to that.
Right. But the incident did in fact happen. No, there was media reports that when the police got on the scene, folks, eyewitness that was there, they felt like the police did not do sufficient, or were not capable, or didn't act in a manner that they thought would have, with a haste, to get the man off to the hospital. In fact, there were reports that the young man laid there for some 45 minutes, and they were saying if quicker action was taken, quite possibly the man could have been saved. What was response time? And I'm sure you're aware of those media reports. Or are you aware of those media reports?
I would have seen some of the reports on social media. As to what transpired when the police got there, I cannot speak to that. We got involved from a CID perspective when he was taken to the general hospital. So as to what transpired before, I cannot speak to it with any level of certainty.
Right. What type of training? Because that also came into question, Corporal. What type of life-saving training is the members of the RGPF equipped with at the moment?
Remember, we are trained in first aid as well as some officers are trained as first responders.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Were there any on scene, or I don't know if you have any information, if there were any of these that was attempted on the individual in the Boca incident?
I have
You-
no
you- you-
information as it
Or
relates to
you
that.
have no information on that. All right, no problem. We're gonna come back to that. There were a lot of media reports, but since you don't have the information, I'm sure that we might be furnished with that information a little bit later. What about the other crimes, Corporal? We heard of several robberies, armed robberies. First, let's start with the one in Calais, where two men was apprehended, was caught on camera in that particular case. What could you tell us about the robbery in Calais?
So for the robbery in Calais, we had two individuals being arrested and charged. They were taken to court and the court granted them bail.
Okay. Is there any other information that you could share about that particular case?
Though this is another one of the investigation that is still, yes, although individuals were charged, it's still an active investigation.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. That incident happened. What could you tell us about the incident at the um, MoneyGram?
MoneyGram. At present, there are two persons in custody assisting the police with their investigations.
Right. Is there any additional information that the public should be aware of as it relates to that particular incident? Because we did get some additional information. Again, you are the official source. We're hearing that the funds was found. They have some sort of confession. Is there any other information that you could bring forth, bring light to on this particular
At
case?
this time, no. There isn't any, I cannot give any more information that I already give. As I said before, active investigations, we can't really give out as much information as the public may want us to.
Okay, what about the identification? How was that person identified? We saw the pictures. It was sort of cannot identify the person from the video. The picture, the person had on a mask. How was that person identified?
Well, thanks to social media, thanks to the video footage, and to the general public.
Right. Okay. So the RGPF have a good feeling that the person or persons in custody are actually the person that may have committed a crime. You have a good sense that you're on the right track in solving that crime, correct?
Well, the investigation is still ongoing. On conclusion, the RGPF would release a press briefing as to the state of that investigation.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool. Let's move on because there are still more. Yesterday we saw this came to light. Let me show you guys. This was at a supermarket in Calivini area. This was it looked like there were initially thought that there was four armed or four masked men, but it was reported that there were three. What could you tell us about the case as of yesterday? When did the report came in, and what is the current status of this investigation?
The report came in sometime during the night last night. And the status is it's still an active investigation. Statements are still being recorded and forensics are being done. So as soon as any more information is available, we would let you know.
Right. When you look at all of these cases that was just outlined there, is there any similarities between the businesses in terms of the occurrence? Of course, they are soft targets. Were there any security? Is it mandated that security are present in certain institutions that carry a large sum of money? What could you tell us about the similarities of these three identically robbed institutions?
Yes, two of the institutions had security, that's MoneyGram and the other supermarket. They had security, and the securities were present. The similarities is that all were offensive weapons were used in all three robberies.
Mm-hmm. When they say security, what is security?
Security from a private company, so
Right,
one of the private security firms.
right. Now, I've heard this before, right? And some people, when they say security, and I walk into an institution and someone open the door for you, and they are deemed as security. But really and truly, that's not security, because if someone is just opening the door, what kind of training is required for this securities to have to do anything like apprehend someone? What are are there any mandate for security companies, and what are they to do as security if something like that were to happen?
Well, as it's to their training, sometimes the RGPF do training with security officers. There isn't any mandate per se, but we do from time to time do training with them as to being vigilant, what they should look for in profiling persons. Yes, they can assist in apprehending the perpetrators in that business place.
Right. So in the case of the Western Union, what was the level of security that was present at the time? Let's break that one down. What was the level of security that was present there?
Well, they had a private. There was individuals from a private security company there. As to how much, I cannot speak to that because I don't have that information.
Right. Okay. So what did he do from your reports? What did the security do? Because this incident, as we saw on camera, it didn't involve the young man pulling out a firearm and pointing it at anybody. Basically, it was just said, as we saw in the video, it was a conversation that he had a firearm. What did did the security even know that it was a robbery?
I'm not sure if he knew.
Right. So what did he do? What was the purpose of him being there? What purpose did he serve?
The purpose of the security is to secure the place, to quell any situation that would have occurred, and also to assist in providing security, in securing the place. But as to that one, I can't speak to what the security would have done.
Right, right. Okay, guys, we're talking here with Corporal Roberts of the RGPF, learning about all these different uh, robberies that was reported from last week up to yesterday. All right, and we're learning a little bit more about it. And of course, guys, as you could appreciate, all of these cases are open investigation, and as Corporal Roberts said, that there are things that he may not be able to say. Right, they are still open and ongoing investigation. Corporal, I want to talk about the RGPF and the recommendation to business in terms of visual or in terms of capturing content. In all of these various robberies, we saw footage from inside of the establishment, right? Does the RGPF work with companies to help them secure in terms of where cameras could be placed, how cameras could be placed, and the way of visual deterrent? Are there any programs like that to help businesses that might be considered as soft targets?
From time to time, we do advise businesses and on crime prevention tips on those things. If we do advise, we work with them. If they come to us, we will give the necessary advice that is needed for the crime prevention in the placement of the cameras and so.
Right, right. And visual deterrent.
Yes.
Visual deterrent, because one of the things that is important, and I think is a deterrent to, might be a deterrent, I'm not sure, that the placement of cameras in strategic locations, some of them might be not even functioning, but the fact that people know that cameras are there or someone is watching them. In some cases, we see cameras that are placed at the front of the entrance of the establishment. So, and there's monitors there too. So you seeing yourself. So you
Yes.
don't really know that somebody's watching you. In addition, in all of the cases that was here, we see that the cameras were placed so high that if somebody was wearing a hat or a cap, you can't see the person. So the it's like it's kind of useless because you can't identify the person. Not like you can see their face. It's so high over the head. You're seeing the top of the head. It's harder to identify someone in those particular cases. So in terms of talking to businesses, helping businesses, showing them how they could protect themselves, are there any ways, or does RGPF or any other institution or any other company provide some sort of technical advice of
On the,
placement of cameras?
the security protocols, it's not really the RGPF per se, but the private security companies do advise them on that. But as it relates to the RGPF, there isn't any protocols that we have in place to do those things. So it's not an RGPF issue, but if they hire the private security companies with specialists in the field of security, they would advise them accordingly.
Right. But at the end of the day, it is still beneficial to the RGPF, because if you have cameras that you would rely on to make an arrest, and these cameras are incorrectly placed, it's virtually useless to the RGPF or anybody else to find out. And the second thing, what I didn't see, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't see any cameras from outside, like in parking lot, right? Because I was also told that, I mean, anyone that come in and rob a place, they probably came around and monitor the place, check out the place. You know, if these cameras are somehow placed outside where you could see the parking lot, you basically see what's happening. It give you a vantage point look as to what's going on from different perspective. I'm saying all of this to say, are those considerations that the RGPF could potentially make to businesses in terms of securing themselves?
Yes, these are considerations that we could make to the businesses in securing themselves. Not because some of them footage was not released doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't cameras on that street or in that particular area.
Right. Understand. And that is important. That is important. So you're saying, although in the case of these robberies, recent robberies, there might be footage that we are not even privy to.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Point taken there. Now I want to talk about community policing, right? And guys, we're going to open up the phone lines. If you have any questions, feel free to call in and ask as well. The number that you could call at any time, because the phone lines are open from the beginning. It's your program to ask the question. Is 718-701-5720. Let me turn on the phone line so you can call in at any time, 718-701-5720. Let's talk about community policing, Corporal Roberts. What type of engagement is the RGPF doing to further that relationship between community and police?
We would have had meetings in several communities where the RGPF had walkthroughs in several communities and meet the people. That is one aspect. We also have officers like just going to schools, to churches, to business places and speak to people.
Right.
The RGPF, if it's one thing, we have a very good working relation with the public.
Right. And what about people sharing information in terms of, in this particular case, I'll just tell you a caveat, a little story here. We had several communication that was brought to us in relation to identifying a particular individual. And it was said, so why don't you just, contact the police directly? For some reason, I don't know why, but in two of the response that we got, they don't trust the police, they don't want to get it about the police. It's a confidential issue. Do you find that being a problem where people don't want to communicate with the police because they're afraid of confidentiality, their information getting released, their information getting out there? So they're afraid. So they will quicker call myself or other media organization before they call the police, the investigators, and the CID.
Well, from a CID point of view, we don't have a confidentiality issue. So from our end at CID, we do get information. We do get confidential information that we rely on, that we work on. So from a CID point of view, yes, we do get a lot of information.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. So we're talking again here with Corporal Roberts, and he's giving us the information on policing and what transpired in those recent incidents. As I said earlier, guys, keep in mind that there may be some information that Corporal Roberts cannot disclose because some of these there's still open investigation. Corporal, I want to talk about this very important component of crime fighting, and it has to do, well, right now it's social media. How is social media helping, or is social media helping or hurting crime fighting in Grenada? Media platforms.
It goes both ways. It helps. It assists greatly in that a lot of information is gathered from social media. A lot of trends is learned from social media. So it assists us greatly.
Right. Does it? How does it hurt?
It hurts. How does it hurt? Sometimes the information that is published may be untrue.
Right.
So
okay.
When it's untrue, it gives a sense of a false outlook on sometimes things that is happening in the country.
Right. And how has, because okay, here is because I realized that the RGPF utilize social media a lot, right? They utilize social media, and because of citizen journalism, people with cameras, people with cell phones, people with internet access, people with platforms, everyone have a platform. It sometimes hits social media before the police. So you say in many ways, if it gets out, it is unconfirmed and unofficial. Folks should be guarded by the information because it might be something that might be even a gruesome. Someone dies, someone took a picture or video, put it on social media. The family is not yet alerted. The family have to learn about this person dying on social media. Not a good look. So how do you advise? How do you combat that? How do you combat these situations?
People needs to be more guarded against what they do, in that sometimes an incident happens even before it is reported to the police. It's on social media.
Right.
Now, that perpetrator may see it and be able to cover his or her tracks. The family, someone might get killed and someone take a picture and put it out, and that may just affect the family adversely in terms of emotional distress and so. We have to understand the human element. Would I like this to be done to me? If it's my family, would I like someone to take out a picture of my brother lying in the road, covered with blood, and post it on social media? So sometimes we have to think about how it would affect us, and it may just affect someone else the same way. So the human element of it, because sometimes, in most cases, when a crime happens, the police is not around.
Right.
And the persons may be on that scene before the police. And taking a picture and put it on social media is not nice. Sometimes a mother coming up, traveling on a bus, and just happen to be scrolling on Facebook and see her son there. It's not a nice thing to do. So asking people to just refrain Wait, let the police release official information.
Right. Okay. All right. We just got a call there, but at the same time, we just lost that caller. So, guys, you could call back and participate in the conversation here. The number is 718-701-5720. If you have a question for Corporal Roberts, please give us a call. Do you? Oh, we got a caller back on the line. Let me get a caller. Caller, you live? Hello. All right. The caller hung up. Again, 718-701-5720. What about patrolling? Does social media make your work easier or harder? Is there as much patrolling and going around and doing stuff on the ground as was before, or does that kind of vanish away because now you have social media and you can get information faster through that media?
Patrolling is still there. Sometimes you may not know that we are patrolling in your area, but the patrolling is still there, be it mobile or foot patrol. The patrols are still there. It's a useful crime prevention method. The patrolling, some persons probably see the police passing with the revolving lights. We at CID, we have unmarked transports. So we may be in an area and you don't know that the police is patrolling. But the patrols do help.
Right. Okay. Dissemination of information. Right. Dissemination of information from the police perspective. Within, I see somebody else come on there. I don't know who it is. We've seen a lot of times, and that is a question that a lot of my audience have been asking. In situations where there are crime involving small drug busts, or what people might say consider petty crime. I mean, every crime is a crime, whether it's stealing coconut or stealing mango, it's still a crime. Petty larceny is a crime. But oftentimes, Corporal Roberts, we've seen situations like these where it doesn't involve somebody with a big name. It's just somebody, some young person caught with some weed or whatever the case is. Although it's a crime, I'm not minimizing it. We always sometimes get the press release with their photos attached to it. But people ask, in cases when there are in situations where there are big cases that involve someone with a big name or stuff like that, we don't see those pictures, and it's sometimes hard to find the pictures of these individuals. How do you decipher what information to circulate with pictures, or what information to decide to send out without pictures?
No, that's a question that I am not in a position to answer, because the dissemination of information rests with the community relations department. So right. I am not in a position to answer as to why it happens and why it don't. That's for the community relation department.
Right. So from where you sit in CID, that information don't get disseminated through you. You have no control over that.
No.
Right. But it's something that people have been asking, and that is a question that I think people ask me, and I don't know, because as media, we get the release. If there is a situation, we get the release, and we publish the release. And if there's pictures, we publish the pictures. And oftentimes we, as media, get blamed for publishing pictures of a John Doe down the block who's partially responsible for doing some small amount of marijuana or stuff like that. But the big guns, the big guys who are involved in big crimes and things that, their reports, but no pictures. So even the powers that be, I would like to find out, how do they decide on the difference of who to send out pictures for and who not to send out pictures for? Because we as media, sometimes we are the ones that get the blame. We look as if we are somehow protecting a certain class of people, but it's actually, that's the information that we receive. Those are the information that we receive, and that's the information that we publish. So, probably someone in that relation department is watching, and they could help us understand that. On that note, So we spoke about community police. Let me see if I have any comments in the chat. What practice? What a ridiculous outdated practice of a car driving around with a flashing light. You're warning the nighttime criminal that you're coming instead of catching them. They're saying that the practice of going around with flashing light is somehow of an outdated practice. Um, it's just a comment. It wasn't a question. Well, guys, I want you guys to call in again and pose your question. We don't have Corporal Roberts here every time, and we're giving you guys an opportunity to ask your question. I know you guys had tons of questions during under the post. This is your opportunity to call in and speak right now. Again, the number is 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Programs. What we wait on the call? Programs. Community engagement programs. How do you do the RGPF work with the youths in terms of getting that type of relation where the youth could see a police officer and not feel scared or intimidated, but instead see the police officer as kind of like a friend or someone that they could talk to and come and speak to when they have a problem? What type of outreach, what type of program do the RGPF have involving the youths?
I know that there is the re-implementation of the Police Boys Club. There is officers assigned to various schools that go there and interact with the children. We have officers who goes to various community-based groups and interact with people. So these are the things that we do. If someone wants, a group or so wants a police officer to come speak to them, they call the station, speak to the person in charge, and those things can be arranged. From a CID perspective, we go to the schools. Some of us go to the blocks and sit and chat with the young men especially. So those are the things that we started and would be continuing.
Right. And again, guys, I don't want to be the only one asking all the questions here. I want to give you guys an opportunity to ask as well. Put a number up on the screen again, 718-701-5720. Do we see an increase, or based on the track record, Grenada being a very safe place where, I mean, one crime is a lot, but we reported about nine murders within the year already. Some countries is up to 100, but nevertheless, one murder is far too much. Do we see an increase in crime at a particular season? And is it that to be expected around Christmas season, that there are and there will be more robberies?
To say that there is increase in crimes around the festive season. So Christmas, Carnival, that's when maybe we see an influx of people, and probably at times people let their guards down during those times.
Right. Yeah. But is there a mechanism or a method that has been used at this point in time to alert individuals, like PSAs, public service announcement, that let people know to protect themselves, let businesses know that, you might see an increase in robberies, how to protect your money, how you should handle money? Is there an increase, or are they planning to have, RGPF planning to have any increase in information?
Yes, we do. Only today we visited several businesses in town and spoke to them about crime prevention tips. Avoid having large sums of cash. So the large sums of cash, we use the media, the different media houses, to go and speak on crime prevention tips. For example, you should avoid going to the ATMs at nights alone. Avoid parking if you go to an event, try and park your vehicle in a well-lit area. Avoid leaving valuables visible when you park your vehicles at home. We inform people that check, check, recheck. So you lock your doors, you check, you recheck. Avoid leaving your keys under the mats, under the flower pot, on the ledge, and so, because you never know. Just as the police does surveillance, so too criminals do surveillance of areas. So we encourage people to check, recheck, always check and recheck your property, because at the end of the day, your property is your investment. It's your hard-earned money. So you install the cameras, the lights, make sure your places are well lit in. We might hear talk about increase of the electricity bill, but the solar lights are very reasonably priced. Sometimes you have to forget about the cost of an item, but think of the advantage it gives you. So the LED lights, the LED sensor lights, the cameras, burglar bars, avoid leaving ladders exposed, of anything that can be used. So you avoid leaving those things exposed to the public. While we are safe, yes, we know we still have crime. We
Yes.
cannot totally eradicate crime, but the RGPF is advising the public, so you can assist us in protecting your property. It is said that for crime to be committed, we have what is called the crime triangle, which is the target, the desire, and the opportunity. Now, one cannot take away someone's desire to commit a crime. But what
Right.
we can do as individual is harden that target and take away that opportunity. There are smart locks that people can invest in, the cameras. Now, someone's face may be bad because of the mask, but someone may be able to identify an individual by their gaits, by their build, by their walk. So that's in that way the cameras become useful. Cameras being there, with the increasing technology, you can be in New York and monitor your property in telescope. St. Andrew.
Right. Yeah.
So we encourage people to do that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Kibbs is asking a question here. She's saying that should there be extra hotline for peak crime season so people could get through with the police?
Well, the RGPF does have an hotline. We have the 911 system, and everybody knows a police officer. There is a police officer probably in all communities in Grenada. So the extra hotline could work, but we also know, everybody also know a police officer from their community that you can call.
Right, 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 right. And what is the, I mean, we have the attention of a lot of people who is watching right now. What is the message? What is the message you want to send, one, to individuals that are watching, right, in terms of protecting their self, in terms of protecting their property, and also I want to talk to the business owners in terms of what are some of the things that they could do to remove the risk, the high probability risk of getting robbed. First, the people, the regular
First,
individual that's watching.
we can be is vigilance. Be very vigilant. Know your surroundings. Know who lives next to you. Know who passes in your direction. You might see someone strange passing in your area every day. That person may walk at the same time, the same side of the road. So
Mm-hmm.
you know your community. We encourage communities to develop neighborhood watch. So when
Yes.
you're going out, you let your neighbor know that you're out. So if they know that you're out and they see someone on your property, they can alert the police. We
Right.
also encourage persons, if you have to go, let's say, to the ATM at night, don't go alone. Go with
Right.
someone you trust.
Yes. Right. And what about businesses?
For the
Businesses.
For the businesses, know your employees, and again, avoid displaying, as for businesses, avoid displaying large sums of cash, avoid traveling with large sums of cash. So sometimes after the end of the day with the sales, you may need to go to the night deposit. Don't go alone.
Right. Right. And also I think, and that's just from my perspective, if you have to hire security, hire properly trained security,
Right.
because
That's
you could have security, but is the security properly trained? That's another big thing. We got a call for you. Let me see if I could bring them in on the live. Caller, live. Where you calling us from?
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York. Go right ahead, Brooklyn.
I don't know if the officer has any answers, but it seems as though crime within the Caribbean per 100,000 persons is very high. Be it in Jamaica, be it in Trinidad, be it in Barbados or Grenada. And seeing that Grenada depends on tourism, and our image depends on, to a large extent, crime statistics. Does the police department have any strategy to reduce crime? Because the average homicide worldwide is around 7. In Grenada, it ranges from anywhere from 7 to 12. So does the police department have any strategy to deal with reducing crime that the public can be involved in?
Yeah. Strategy. Thank you, caller. Strategies for reducing crime.
okay. As I said earlier, vigilance is one. We go around to the communities. We speak to people on how best to protect their property. There is police officers who are on different boards. Shouldn't say boards, but who meets with different community groups. So there are several things that the RGPF is doing. You may see at certain time an increased police presence in some areas. So
Yeah.
we
No,
are,
no, go ahead. I'm listening.
so yeah, so the increased police presence, the increased media presence. When I say increased media presence, program like yours, police officers come in and speak on different strategies in crime prevention.
Yes. PSAs as well is good. And you mentioned cameras, and I think cameras are good. But if you have cameras incorrectly placed and improperly placed, it's just like having no cameras at all. I think those are the important thing. But you, as you rightfully said, there might be cameras that the footage that we are not privy to, that we're not seeing. But in so many cases where when I see a camera, because I'm into video and I know how camera angles work, in most cases you have the camera up in the ceiling there, and you're capturing that person's head, like was the situation in Carriacou, where that individual was difficult to find these individuals. Not saying that it wasn't fully equipped with other angles, but from what I saw, it was only that angle. It was so difficult to find the person. All he was doing was wearing a hat, and for months nobody could identify who the person was. He wasn't even wearing a mask. So I guess as you said, having cameras placed correctly
Correctly.
is another big thing. Corporal Roberts, is there anything else that you would like to leave with us before we wrap up this segment?
Another thing is that we're advising people to be very careful with their credit and debit cards. Now, be careful if someone just asks you go to shop and that cashier maybe have your credit card or debit card too long. So you be very, very careful, because we have seen recently reports where people are saying they get a printout from their bank and they don't know anything about the purchases, the online purchases. After investigation was done, someone would have used that information from their card to do the online shopping. So we're advising persons to be careful with your credit and debit cards. With keys, do do not leave the keys under the mats. If it means that your child comes home before you and you may have to duplicate that key and use a string or something and tie it in that child's bag, we encourage you to do that. You lose your keys, you change your locks as quickly as possible.
Right. Some good crime fighting measures there, Corporal Roberts. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And again, we open the platform to have more engagement with our RGPF and sensitizing the community. And I wish you guys a lot of luck going forward, because with this particular case here, it's still no leads are in. So you guys have a lot of work to do. We continue to be of assistance if you need us right here at Ride Along Live. So thanks again, Corporal Roberts.
Thank you. Just want to say thanks to the general public for their cooperation in 2022, and we look forward to your cooperation in 2023 and beyond. Thanks for having me, Mr. George.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, guys. So yeah, that was Corporal Roberts from the RGPF, from the CID department. And I watch your comments, guys. Yeah, I'm watching your comments. Oh, you're saying nothing. Now, there's a lot of things that he can't say because some of the cases is under investigation. So understand that. But this is what we have heard, because we get a lot of information, guys. Again, it is not official release information as yet, but as it relates to this particular case involving the young man in the MoneyGram situation, we got some updates on that. I want to share it with you in a short while. But before I do that, guys, I want to share this other quick thing with you, because there was something that I saw. And you know, when you're doing this type of investigation, guys, you have to look for every single thing, right? You have to look for every single thing in order to identify a person, right? So I wanted to see, because of course we can't see this guy's face, it's covered. Let me bring back this guy on the screen. But there was one thing, guys, one thing that I saw. This guy that's walking around right here, the one that's walking to the back, the one that's going back and forth, he has a bad right leg. Yeah. He has either a hop or something, his right leg. He has something with his right leg. So the investigation gonna start there, right? The investigation gonna start there. So far, as far as we have learned, there have been no leads in finding out who these perpetrators are. There have been no leads at the moment. Probably police have information that they're not saying, but as far as our lead goes, we haven't heard anything. But I want police, but probably not even police. I want people to look closely and try to figure out this guy, because he might be the key. He might be the key in finding out who these guys are. A guy that has a bad, look his walk. You could look at his walk, guys. Look at his walk. He has a bad right leg. Who could that be? You guys, listen. You want to bet. And I don't like to challenge myself, right? But that's a hint that we could work on. You have a bad right foot. So who do you know? Walk like this, look like this. You probably saw him earlier today. Probably have a little more money than he had yesterday. Probably, boasting, buying new stuff, or came home yesterday boasting of stuff. Yeah, when people get money, they do all kind of thing, Let me tell you, one thing I could tell you guys, criminals are not the smartest people in the pack. Criminals are not the smartest people in the pack. They make a lot of mistakes, a whole bunch of mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes. One of the mistakes that he made, he walked up and down in front of the camera with his bad right knee. And that is going to help us find out who this individual is. So guys, get the dialing, get the calling, get the watching. All you know how all you could mark. I ain't saying as a bad thing, you know. I ain't saying that a bad thing. You know, when I say glasses go sell in Grenada, it's for a reason that we have good eyes. We could mark properly. Like I'll be driving from Paradise to Grenville. All my tint is up and all my glasses up and I'm driving fast and I still hear people calling me. How they see me? I don't know, but they'll see me. So guys, let's look at this, guys, right here. He is the key. He is the key to finding out who those robbers are. So guys, hit me some hints. I want to see you guys inboxing me the information. Of course, the information that we receive. Anonymous, as always. We don't share your information at all. You have my number as well, that number right there, 718-701-5720. Because listen, the RGPF alone can't do this, you know. The RGPF alone can't do this. They need help. So we're going to provide them with that help. Right? Look at this guy, guys. Look at this guy. Look at this one walking up and down the place, talking up. Yeah, look, he has a bad right foot. Yeah. Who could that be? Who could that be? We're getting a call. Let me see if we could solve this today. Call it live. Where are you calling us from? Hello? Hello? All right. Is it right or left? He looks like right to me, guys. Is it right or left? I think he looks more right than left. He looks more right than left. He can't even walk good. Oh, gosh. Left knee? All right, left knee, guys. Left knee. He has a bad left knee. He has a bad left knee. I want to see you guys that could see things really close, see things really good, know of this person, know who this person is, know who these guys are. And listen, another exposure, guys. I mean, it's much more difficult to keep a secret when you have 3 people, right? Somebody's going to talk. Somebody's going to talk. Yeah, someone's going to talk. That's smart. The police will find this. Left. Okay, left. Thank you. It's left, not right. Left. It's not right, it's left. Thank you. Left. All right, guys. Let me see if I get any messages yet. Cracking the case. Because believe it or not, guys, oh, you think it's the left? Okay, if you think it's the left, then it's the left. Wow. Hold on. Ah, boy. I ain't want to say this yet. I just got something in my message there. I ain't gonna say that yet. I'm not gonna say that yet. Anyway, guys, while we look at this and try to find this individual, I gotta tell you guys this, guys. We are having our ride along big money bingo, $6,000 bingo, guys. Give you an opportunity to win $6,000 cash. Yeah, $6,000 cash. Virtual bingo. You could play from anywhere. All right? You could play from anywhere in the world. So this is what you do, guys. Right now. Well, before you get off the program, go to ridebuy.com. That's ridebuy.com and pick up your ticket. Tickets are $25, but you could win up to $6,000 in cash. Get your tickets tonight at ridebuy.com. That's ridebuy.com. Don't stick, get it tonight. Lord have mercy. Let me show you something. Hold on. Ah, boy, I tell you now, there. Ah, boy. Partner. 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 What you doing? What exactly you doing? What exactly you doing, Father, up in Guave earlier today? What is it you're doing climbing through that window? What is it you're really telling yourself? More on that later. More on that later, guys. More on that later. That's just one of the things that just came into my inbox. And a whole lot more from people who's giving me some leads on the guy with the bad left leg. That's coming in as well. So we got a lot to discuss. Oh, one last thing before I go, guys. I was telling you about some leads, some information that we had on the, have on the incident involving the MoneyGram, right? We are hearing from multiple inside sources that those funds was recovered. We just learning this earlier before we came on the program that they did in fact recover the money. They still have someone in custody assisting in the investigation, and these funds have been recovered. As far as our inside investigation is concerned, it's unofficial, as I said. Remember, I continue to say that it's unofficial, but this is the information that we are receiving right here on Ride Along Live. Ah, boy. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of our program. We appreciate you so much. On behalf of all of our team here at Ride Along Live, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. For everyone who are sending me information, keep it coming. We're getting all the leads in, a lot of emails that's coming in. And we're going to, of course, treat your information with the highest degree of privacy. All right. Before I go, I got to tell you about what else. We're going to Dubai. We are heading to Dubai. Right, we're heading to Dubai, right along to Dubai. We're going there on October next year, 2023. So we're giving you guys a whole year to plan. October 2023, right? This is an excursion, a whole set of events happening in Dubai. So guys, if you want to go, you got to keep it really close to your email, because we will release the information very early next week, right? We have excellent payment plans. So if you want to go, you could pay off the total sum, which we're going to announce next week, in about 6 months. There's a small down payment that you could make. And of course, there are payments that you could make, small payments for up to 6 months to pay off, to head off to Dubai in 2023. Be an amazing experience, guys. We want to see you guys there. All right. So if you want to be on that list, you got to join the VIP mailing list, guys. Join the VIP mailing list, and you will get, as soon as the prices are released, you will get it first if you're in the VIP mailing list. Now, there are over 300 people on that list. I tell you right now, there are at least 300 people on there. So if we send out the information, you have to bomb rush the thing. You have to just whoops and pay. Put on that down payment, small down payment, to guarantee a spot for Dubai, because there are over 300 people on that VIP mailing list as it stands right now. We could only take 100. We could only take 100. All right? We could only take 100. Nah, it's not 5,000. I tell you that right now. It's not 5,000. It's not 5,000. It's not even $4,000. Let me tell you guys this, it's not even $4,000. It's not $4,000. And air is included. It's not even $4,000. It's not even $3,800. It's not even $3,800. Tell you, we make it nice and affordable for you. Really nice and affordable for you. All right. But next week, we're going to give you all the information. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. And we have all our team here at Ride Along Live. For executive producer Lois JJ, thank you so much. Our moderators Kibbs, Gail, T, and Fraser. We say good night, be safe, and talk to your kids, guys. Talk to your kids, you know. Talk to your kids and them, you know. Talk to your kids. 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 I won't want to be here featuring your kids. All right? Have a serious conversation with your kids. See ya. Good night. Get your tickets right now, guys, for the bingo game that's going down on the 23rd. Get your tickets. There are limited tickets right now, so get it tonight. See you guys. Good night.
My name is Yolandi, and All Pro Health Staffing has some great opportunities. At All Pro, we know what's important to you, and that is safe assignments and great pay. We get it because we're nurses too. We have an amazing opportunity right now for you if you're an LPN. This is based in Vermont, and we are seeking to get somebody on board as soon as possible. We also have really great local opportunities. Right now, we are hiring immediately 4 LPNs. We're looking for them to work in assisted living and memory care facilities based out in New Rochelle, New York. For more information about these great opportunities, call 516-387-4246. Click the link below or share this with a family or a friend.
Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at grenadamarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and the syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and bois-bande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. GrenadaMarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.grenadamarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.